Hello! Today we shall be ranking the Arrow seasons from the first season all the way to the 8th and final season. This is just a disclaimer. I do not think any season is bad. I think every season has something to offer. But anyway, this was a requested video, so here it is. The other one shall be coming for the complete Arrowverse, and I was thinking about doing a crossover one as well, and then do some stuff from Marvel and all that too, because I am a fan of both sides. But anyway, without further ado, shall we begin? So, coming in 8th place, but that does not mean that it's bad at all. This is Arrow, the complete third season. Arrow Season 3, this is a season where Ra's al Ghul was the main villain, and then he got recruited, he became Al-Sal-Him, and then Danny Brickwell? Yeah, Danny Brickwell, or he went by Brick, was the main the halfway point villain in this. He's played by Vinnie Jones. He also played Juggernaut in X-Men, and then he's been some other stuff all around. But anyway, this was a good season. Has Roy Harper in it as well. Peter Stormare was in this season. He played Vertigo, not Count Vertigo, I think, because Count Vertigo was in season 2, and then he takes over the drug and he starts doing other things. But anyway, coming in 8th place is season 3. So coming in at 7th place is season 4. This season, I think it gets a lot of hate, and it doesn't deserve it. I think it's actually a really fun season. You could tell Neil McDonough is having a great time playing Damien Darhk, and then he would later come into Legends and be the villain. But anyway, this season brings in Damien Darhk as the main villain. He has his grand scheme. Instead of just trying to take over the city, he's like, I'm just gonna blow everything up. We're gonna start from scratch. This is a mercy killing on a global scale, as he said in the finale. And then they do like a Dark Knight Rises thing, the entire town versus the entire city versus the villains, and then they all go running at each other. But this season also brought in Diggle's brother, which was, spoiler alert, which we found out later he was actually part of Hive. He was being brainwashed, and then all the other things happened, and then Diggle had to kill him. And then this season also brought the death of Laurel Lance, Earth 1 Laurel Lance, from Damien Darhk, because he went into prison and all that. And a quick little thing, one part of this, Darhk says, "Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war." I believe that's a Shakespeare line. I'm not 100% sure, but I think it is. And that's also Caden James says that in season 6 as well. So, number 7th place, season 4. So, coming in at number 6th place is the complete 7th season, or Arrow Season 7. This is the prison season for the first half, and then he got out for the second half, and he had to face the new Hood, which, spoiler alert, this will have spoilers throughout the entire video. We figured out it was Emiko, and then they had, the big fight at the end, and then the Anti-Monitor came, the Monitor came, because the Anti-Monitor was on his way, and he was like, "It is time, Oliver." And this was the season that they did the, what crossover was it? Elseworlds. And then, the first half, the villain was, Ricardo Diaz as the villain, because he was the half of the villain for the 6th season, and then carried over into this one. This has my all-time favorite episode of Arrow, which is the Slabside Redemption. Such a great episode. It is literally from its action from the beginning of it till the end, and then we see what's his name, Bronze Tiger. He comes back, and it was just a very good season overall. I really enjoyed it, and Emiko's theme was really cool. It was like dun 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 dun. It was like a remix of his theme. But anyway, coming in at number 6 is season 7. So coming in at number 5th place is season 8, and it's also the final season. But this season is the shortest out of all of them. This season only has only has 10 episodes, and it's very well done. They got a lot of money for this final season, for what I heard, so they were able to go even bigger and bigger for the final season. And then this season, instead of doing flashbacks like all the other seasons, well, besides seasons, well, anyway, this season has no flashbacks at all. It's actually flash forwards until the series finale, and I gotta say, the series finale probably has one of the absolute best action scenes out of the complete, just the series in general, about how he could just kept going, like, he just one after another, he just kept going and going and going. It was awesome. It was a very satisfying final season. There was no cliffhangers at all, besides when the lantern ring came down for John, and then he opened it, but he said he was moving to Metropolis anyway, and that's why a lot of people think he's actually going to be in Superman and Lois. And this season is pretty much Arrow's greatest hits, because they go back to the most popular things of each season, and then they redo it, and it was just a whole lot of fun to watch. So, number 5... Season 8. So coming in at number 4th place, in 4th place is the first season. This is a season that started the entire Arrowverse. This is the season that started everything in general. This is, they took a very Dark Knight approach to it. They even said that in some of the bonus features. But anyway, this season follows Dark Archer as the main villain, that we later find out is Malcolm Merlyn, and then he faces him up on the rooftop. And then this season, I want to say, also brought in Deadshot. I believe it was this season, but pretty much all I can say about it. It's the season that started it all, and it's a very, very, very good season, and definitely recommend this 100%, and it's a great starting point for the entire Arrowverse. So coming in 3rd place is Season 5. This is a season that they brought in Prometheus as the main villain, and then they also brought in Vigilante, and then they also brought in Adrian Chase. And if you read the comics or anything, you know that Adrian Chase is Vigilante. But in this season, they change it up, and we later find out that Prometheus is actually Adrian Chase, and boy, does he have a grudge against him. And before we even find out who he is, they actually hinted at it, because I've recently been rewatching this one. And in one part, he was talking to Oliver about how, like, he stole his girlfriend or something. And he's like, well, it's a good thing for you that I don't hold a grudge. And, like, when you rewatch it, you're like, oh my god, that is major foreshadowing about, like, this guy is actually nuts. And then this season also brought in Tobias Church as one of the villains, played by, I can't remember his name, but he also played in The Walking Dead, and he was great as a side villain too, leading into Prometheus as the main villain. And then this season also brought in God, why can't I think of it? But anyway, this season has a great season finale. It's called Lian Yu, because they actually go back to the island, and then this season was so well written. It was so great. This season I would 100% recommend. Well, I recommend all the seasons, but anyway, this is such a great season. And so coming in 3rd is 5. So coming in 2nd place is Season 2. This is the Deathstroke season. This is the flashbacks to see how he lost his eye, why he held such a grudge against Oliver. Like, it was so... This is probably... This almost made it number 1, but, like, if you've been paying attention, you know what number 1 is. But anyway, this is the season with Slade Wilson as Deathstroke, played by Manu Bennett, which I think is the best Deathstroke. Titan's version is very good too, but Manu Bennett is probably the best version. But anyway, this is the season that, like, the entire plan, like, Slade's just been doing it from start to finish because of Shadow, with what happened on the island, and then the falling out that they had, and then the Mirakuru and Brother Blood. And Brother Blood on this actually plays in Lucifer as well, as Lucifer calls him, Detective Douche. But anyway, this is just an amazing season. I've rewatched this one at least 3 or 4 times. But anyway, coming in 2nd is 2nd. So, coming in 1st place is, actually might surprise some of you, is the 6th season. This is a season that they actually did, like, a 2 graphic novel type of storyline, and this season I just absolutely loved. I loved Caden James in the first half, actually played by Michael Emerson. He actually voiced Joker in The Dark Knight Returns Part 1 and Part 2. But anyway, like, he's a hacker. He brings together this group of villains. One of them is Ricardo Diaz, and then the other one is Laurel from Earth 2, which we saw in, I want to say it was, what was it, Escape from Earth 2, that two-parter in Flash Season 2. But we saw her in that, and then she came prominent in this because the original Laurel died in Season 4. But anyway, he's the villain for the first half of the season until we actually find out the real main villain is actually Ricardo Diaz, because we find out that that Caden James actually held a grudge against Oliver because the death of his son. He blamed him for the death of his son, and then later on Diaz just shoves a knife into his neck, and then Diaz literally tears Oliver's team apart just from the inside. He makes Dinah turn against him, Renee turn against him, Curtis turn against him in a Vertigo type of episode. Makes us think that even Felicity turned against him, and then they have this big final battle up on a rooftop. The music was great, and I just thought this was such a well-written season. I can't think of the guy's name off the top of my head right now, but the guy that plays Diaz, he did such a great job. This is absolutely my favorite season of Arrow. All the seasons are good, but this is my all-time favorite season of Arrow. So coming in first is 6th. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and a subscribe so I know to keep making more of these. Other ranking videos will pop up soon, in the near future, I should say. And if you have any requests of videos, please put them in the comments down below. And if tell me your ranking of Arrow, all seasons 1 through 8 down below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Bye.